Welcome everybody to a wonderful ZZ Top song and Precious and Grace. Great song. This song has a slide solo. Watching Billy play this live, he just plays it straight, doesn't use a slide, and really transfers well to not using slide. I figured it out in normal tuning. We're in normal tuning. My notes will be linked right below the video if you want to follow along. I wrote it out for slide just so you know which strings to slide to and from, but if you're playing it regular, you would just be using hammer-ons and pull-offs. So with that said, let's get into the intro. We got a measure of this. Alright, that's 1/4 of the measure. So we're going to take the 6th string from the 1st fret, hammer to 3 twice, and that's palm muted. Then we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the 4th and 3rd string and slide that into 3. And it's a real quick slide. It's not a, it's more of a right at the, almost right at the fret into 2. Alright? And then we're going to come back 3 on the 6th string to 1. That will be a 1/4 measure. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course we'll repeat that 4 times. Alright? The verse will come in and they'll do a full measure also, just like the intro, but we have singing below it. Alright? So we'll do 4 counts of. Alright, then we move on. That would be, this is in the key of G, so the next chord will be C. Alright, G, C, D are our main chords for this because it's in the key of G. But we're going to move to a C. We're just going to be referencing that here at the 6th to 8th fret, the 6th string. Same pattern. Alright, the difference is we'll only do it twice. Alright, so we go to the 6 to 8. So once we let off on that 6, we go right to the 5th string D note and hit the 4th string A note, and it'll be back and forth 8 times. So the 5 and 7. And then you're back to the very end of the verse. It's like the turnaround. It's a tag of a half measure. Then we start verse 2, all right, with a full measure or 4 times through that. Our 6 to 8, all right, our D, and then back to the tag for a half measure. All right, after the second verse and that little tag, now we come to a bridge. So the bridge, which comes after verse 2, is going to be 5 counts of this chromatic run. 4th string, 5, 4, 3. We'll do that 5 times. After the 5th time, we land on the 5th string, 5th fret, and start again with a 5 count. So what we have so far with that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to move up to the 6th string. All right, this is kind of the transition into the solo. So what we do is hit the open 6th string and hammer onto the 1st fret. He'll do that hammer onto 1 from the open 4 times, and then we're into the solo rhythm. All right, we'll cover the solo rhythm next before I go over the solo. Solo rhythm, what we're going to do is 8 counts of sliding from 4 to 5 on the 4th and 3rd string. That's 4. You would do obviously a total of 8. Then we're going to move to the 2nd and 3rd string. We'll do that for a 4 count. Then we finish up with a 4 count of where we started, 4 to 5. Alright, at that point, we're going to do a little walk down. Alright, so that walk down will be 5 to 3 to 1 and then open on the 5th string. Kind of slide into the 5 the second time through. That's how I wrote it out. It just adds a little flavor to it. Then we're into the 3rd verse, which is just like the 2nd verse. All right. Only difference is coming out of it when we go to the D, Billy doubles it. So we have, instead of an 8 count, 1, 2, 3. All right, we count 16 of them. So it's double, basically, all right? Then we're into really like that intro. Alright, we're going to do that 4 measures. Alright, on the 5th measure, after the half measure, we're going to, the end will come in. So it'd be a total of 3.5 measures till the end comes in. The guitar, as the end comes in, he's still doing this for a full another, total of 2 more times to fill out that measure. You'll hear that, but again, over that, he's going into the end walk down. That'll take us to the final chords. So the ending will go like this. Alright, we're going to start at the 7th fret. Alright, think of it as a reverse D shape. So we'll be hitting 7 on the 3rd string to 6 to 7 on the 1st string. 6 will be on the 2nd. Then we're going to come back to 6 on the 2nd to 7 on the 3rd. So we have this. Back to the 1st string. Alright, so we have totally. It down and do that exact same picking. Then to the 5th fret. And you'll hear the slide guitar come in and they slide down. And then what you're doing is you're coming in 2nd fret of the 6th string, kind of muting the 5th string, and 2nd fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and slide that from 2 to 4. Alright, so that's our G minor ending. Alright, so we'll go over the solos next and you'll have the whole song. It's really a fun one to jam with. And again, the second solo I'll show you, but live Billy just jams it. He kind of hangs to the first solo as far as the motif, and we'll talk about that. But second solo, it's just fun to play in G minor and jam away. Okay, so the first measure of the solo go like this. Alright, so again, you can see there's a little motif to this. Okay, to start the solo off with, we're going to slide quickly into 5 and then slide into 4 and back to 3. That'll be on the second string. So 5 will be the third string. So we're sliding back and then we come back to the 5, 4, 3, 5. Let me take it from the top. Alright, after the second time, at the 4, you're going to just start, think of it as starting over again 5 to 4, because you're going to do something a little different. Alright, so let's go through the first 2 again, and then I'll do the 4, 5. Alright, then you're going to hit the 3rd fret of the 1st string, the 2nd string at the 4th fret, and the 3rd string at the 5th fret. And start it over one more time. At that point, you're going to go from 5 up to 8 on the 3rd string to 8 on the 2nd and 1st string. At that point, you're going to hit 8 again on the 1st string, slide up to 11, all right? Then we're going to come back and hit 8 on the 1st string, 8 on the 2nd, 8 on the 1st, 8 on the 2nd, all right? So we have this from 5. At that point, when you reach the 2nd string at 8 for the 2nd time, you're going to hit the 3rd string at 8 and slide to 5. And that finishes out the measure. So we'll do this all together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I've written this out so you can follow along, but basically we're outlining a C minor chord there, all right? All right. Next, we're going to move down to a B minor, or I'm sorry, what would that be? B flat minor. Okay, so to finish out the solo, this will be the second measure I've written out. We're going to slide down to a B flat here, all right? So we're going 4 to 3 on that 2nd string and kind of continue a little motif you'll recognize. Alright, so what we're doing, starting out 2nd string, sliding 4 to 3. And that's just kind of a mellow slide leading us into the next motif. Then we're going to slide 3 to 1 and then up to, that's on the 2nd string. This is all on the 2nd string, I'm sorry. And then back to 3 3rd fret on the 3rd string. And again, and then 3. All right, so we have this so far. Then we're going to slide 3, 1 back to 3 and hit 3 again. Then we're going to kind of go to our 5, 4, 3, all right? Except we come back to 4. It's on the 2nd string, all right? So then back to 4, 3, and 5 on the 3rd string. Then we're going to slide up 2nd string to the 8th fret, hit 8 again, slide to 6, and then come back and hit 8 and slide to 5. That's all of the first solo. All right, like I said, Billy plays this, you know, he's just jamming along and he's playing pretty much that motif. Anyhow, he's doing that motif. The 2nd solo, which I figured out, he pretty much just jams in, you know, G minor. So I can show you the 2nd solo. There's a lot of repetition, and it goes real high up to a G note, past the actual fretted notes. But we'll talk about that next. So the first measure of the 2nd solo, which takes us out, he's sliding on the 3rd string from 12 to 14. He'll do that twice and then hit 14 again. For the full measure, you'll do that 4 times total. So we have this. All right, 2 more times. I'm not going to do it. I'm scaring the shit out of the dog. So then what we're going to do is come up to the 15th fret, and we're going to slide on from the 2nd string, hit 15 on the 1st, 15 back to the 2nd, 15 back on the 1st, and then up to 19, and then back to 16. All right, at that point, we're going to hit 15 again, and then 15 on the 2nd string, slid to 14. All right, then we come back for another 12 to 14. I'm sorry, 14 back to 12. So it'll sound like this. Never mind. All right, at that point, when we slide from 14 to 12, we're going to do 14 to 12 on the 2nd string. Then we're going to catch. Then we'll do 14 to 12 again, but this time on the 2nd string. Alright, so we have this. Alright, and then we're going to hit 12, and then 12, that's on the 3rd string, 12 again, and slid back to 11, hitting 12 on the 4th string. Then 12 twice, slid back to 11, once more to 12. So again, this will sound like this. So he does that total of 3 times, then he slides from 12 to 10 on the 2nd string. Alright, at that point we're going to come to the G note, which you can reach by just reaching your, picture a couple extra frets past there. Alright, play with the song, you'll hear it. I mean, he's way up there. And it's a G note. Alright, and then what we do after that is come back 17 to 15 on the 1st string to 16 on the 2nd. And then we'll do 17 again on the 1st string, and then 17 back to 15 and 16. We're going to do that 2 more times. So a total of 3. Alright, at that point we're going to hit 17 again, slid up to 21, and then 19 to 17. Alright, and then we come back 17 to 19, and that's on the 2nd string, and then we end at 19 on the 1st string, all the way back up to 28, where we have that G note. And the walking is coming, and you just slide down. Again, I've written this out. You can follow along with that. The 2nd solo, like I said, he doesn't do that live, and I think it's a lot of impromptu stuff. So do whatever you enjoy. So main thing is have fun with it. Thank you for all your support with my ads and letting them play, and enjoy.